Let's say you have just collected data from a controlled investigation around a scientific question that asks how one independent variable affects one dependent variable. For example, what is the effect of sugar concentration on the temperature of yeast fermentation? Once you have processed your data, you're probably ready to graph. Google Sheets is a good tool for creating digital graphs. To begin, log into your school Google account and visit sheets.google.com. Then, click on the plus sign to open up a new blank spreadsheet. After a scientific question that asks how two numerical factors are related has been tested, an XY scatter plot should be made to visualize any relationships. The chart function in Google Sheets can be used to generate this type of graph. To create a chart in Sheets, you first must input the processed data into the spreadsheet. Using two columns, include the quantitative levels of the independent variable in the left column and the quantitative values of the dependent variable in the right column. Highlight all the data by clicking on the top left cell of the data and holding down the Shift key as you click the bottom right cell. Your data will be highlighted in blue. To make a graph, go to the menu and select Insert and Chart. Google Sheets generates a default graph, but this graph may not be up to scientific standards for communicating results. The graph that Sheets has inserted on this spreadsheet is a bar graph, which is not the appropriate way of representing the relationships between two numerical factors. To change the graph style to scatterplot, you will go to the Chart Editor window on the right side of the spreadsheet. The Chart Editor is visible when your graph is selected on the spreadsheet. Under the Data tab, you will find a drop-down menu labeled Chart Type. Click on the chart type and select Scatter. Next, you need to make sure that your graph talks. Options in the Customize tab will allow you to ensure your graph talks. I will now show you how to edit the title, axes, labels, key, and scale of a graph. The graph needs an appropriate title that provides the reader with enough context that they wouldn't have to read your whole report to understand what the results show. The effect of the independent variable on the dependent variable is usually a good general format for writing a title. To change the title, go to the Chart and Axis Title subsection. Select the chart title in the Type drop-down menu. Then, edit the text under the title text. Once you're finished with your title, you'll notice that it is in the top part of the graph section. In a good scientific graph, the independent variable should always be represented on the x or horizontal axis, and the dependent variable should always be represented on the y or vertical axis. By setting up the data in the two-column format that was previously mentioned, the axes will be set up correctly. Changing the labels of the x and y axes is similar to changing the title of the graph. Under the Chart and Axis Titles subsection, select horizontal or vertical axis titles in the Type drop-down menu. Edit the text accordingly. Include the units of each variable in parentheses. A key is required if the graph contains more than one relationship between factors. The Legend subsection of the menu allows for customization of the key. If the graph does not require a key, such as this one, select None in the Position drop-down menu. The key that was present is now gone. Graphs in Google Sheets automatically have consistent intervals for each axis. The scale is usually appropriate based on the data provided in the spreadsheet, but if it needs to be changed, you can customize the min and max values for each axis in the subsection for each axis. As you can see, under vertical axis, there's an area for minimum value and maximum value that you can input yourself. 0 should always be the point of origin, or at the right angle where the x and y axes meet. If the graph shows an offset O, or 0, as it does here, go to the subsection for each axis and make sure that Treat Labels as Text is unchecked. This should make the point of origin 0 for x and y axes. Once you've correctly formatted the scatterplot graph, you can easily copy and paste the graph into other Google apps such as Docs or Slides. However, if you want to insert this graph into a different application, you will need to convert the graph into an image file. This can be done by clicking the snowman button when the chart area is highlighted. Click the snowman button and then click on Save Image. A PNG file of your graph will automatically be downloaded to your computer.